new Tech Genesis cards. I haven't read all of them, but someone was saying like TG, yeah, so okay. Someone was like, with this card, chat, you could draw like 10 cards now. And I'm just gonna say this, and this should have already been known. This card should have like been banned a long time ago, chat. Like, this card's ceiling is still like higher than almost every synchro in the game except like Dark Strike Fighter. People forget how broken this card was. This like, this card is not a hard one. You can draw like 10 cards from this. All you have to do is just keep synchros, like synchro. You know what I mean? Time to hit TG Hyper Library. I'm just saying, if someone draws 6 cards in a turn, don't say like, oh, Cap, nobody told us TG Hyper Librarian was broken. You just haven't seen it played since like 5Ds, but the potential is still broken. And I heard, so when I saw this name, chat, it was on Reddit. They were like, oh, the voice actor for how do you say this? Antinomi. Is it just Anthony? Is it like a Japanese version of Anthony? Antomini. Yeah, anyways. When I saw this name, I was like, who is that? And for a second, chat, I thought that it was the villain with like the blonde hair from 5Ds. I thought it was like the dude from, I don't know if he's in like the second or the third arc, but like the villain who uses mech lords. I thought it was him. And then I was like, oh, it's just Bruno. I was like, oh, Bruno, the TG guy. Aporia. I thought it was Aporia. That's what I thought. And I was like, wait, doesn't he play like mech lords or something? I was like, that's a really shitty archetype to get support. But then I heard it. Then it was like, oh, it's TG. I'm like, okay, TG's good. Dark Emperor. I know this card's nuts. This card, chat, it's supposed to be TG Hyper Librarian, or excuse me, Halberd Cannon, choke slamming, Shooting Star Dragon. That's what people on Reddit said. So fake. Bro, I'm not trying to, I didn't watch anything past the Dark Signers, and Bruno is not in the Dark Signers arc. He's in the racing arc. When your opponent activates a spell/trap or monster effect while you control a machine TG monster, which is like, is that just the big ones, like the like 12s and 11 synchro monsters? Because it sure as hell ain't the regular monsters. The regular monsters are like Beast Warrior and shit. You know what I mean? It's just to say, okay, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. So this is an Infernity Barrier when you have the synchros, but their continuous spell makes every TG monster a machine, if I'm not mistaken. And then it says, if a synchro monster or monsters becomes banished while this card is in your graveyard, you can set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. So basically it's like a Salaman Graveyard. I just don't get why Versus couldn't get this card. Would it have been too much work? Like, it's not even like Konami's like, yo, we're not printing any more Infernity Barriers that can like reset themselves, Cap. We don't do that anymore, because they literally did it in the same set and then the very next set too. So like, Konami's putting an Infernity Barrier in every single set, chat. I just don't get why Vanquish Soul couldn't get an Infernity, just get a regular Infernity Barrier. Why we had to get a stupid one. You know what I mean? No, I don't think TG has a link. TG doesn't have a link monster. They just have synchros. So they got, let's see, they got one main deck monster. It has to be it's not a tuner. Huh. I would have just assumed that TG, oh snap, TG does have a link monster. You guys are, it's a 3. Yeah, you guys are right. I remember that from some of my shitty replays. Yeah, you guys are right. Holy crap, I don't even know what it does. It's a machine though. But I remember in the shitty replays, people used to go from Hulk into it. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Because TG got support. Is it in Savage Strike, chat? Yeah, they got support in Savage Strike. Just nobody remembers it. Yeah, I totally forgot. Yeah, TG has a Link 3. I think it's like good too. I think it's just like difficult to make. Because like again, back then people were just making it with like Hulk and stuff like that. So song queue is on for anyone who wants to request anything. You contribute a TG monster, special summon one TG monster with a different original name from your deck. So is this just Lone Fire Blossom? That's literally Lone Fire Blossom, right, Chad? I mean, you have to summon a deck. It's like Lone Fire Blossom. If you control a machine TG monster, you can target one level 4 or lower TG monster in your graveyard, reborn it, but its effects are negated. Okay, this seems fair enough. This is It's a Synchro, but it's a 2. Oh, it's just Striker. Yeah, it's Striker. So this is like, it's like Formula Synchron. How many level 2 Synchros are there in Yu-Gi-Oh? I feel like there's only 2. There's this card and I feel like these are the only 2 in the entire game. Striker, but cooler. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can add a TG Speller Trap from your deck to your hand. Once during your, it's probably quick Synchro, right? Once during your opponent's main phase, you can quick effect immediately after this effect resolves. So it quick Synchros. If this card is sent to the, if this card is sent from the monster zone, you can send a TG card from your deck to your graveyard. They got a 5. Oh, wait. Oh, I want to read this. They got a new boss monster. 4,000, 4,000. It requires 3. It's an ultra rare. Okay, I want to see if it's like this dude is crap. I hope it's good. Yo, this shirt is kind of cool, by the way. I feel like this is the first voice actor chat that they got that actually wore something like Yu-Gi-Oh themed. Why is this like the first time that someone actually showed up, you know, like showing that they cared, you know what I mean? Thank you very much, Aquamades05 coming through with the Twitch Prime resubscription, 24 months in a row. That's 2 full years of grown-ass Aquamades-ness. Thank you very much. He's the only voice actor who actually likes Yu-Gi. Yeah, I've seen, chat. I've followed these core booster set reveals for a while, for like years. I've known about these since like at least Vrain's era. This is the first voice actor that I've seen like actually wear something Yu-Gi-Oh inspired. I've seen Revolver's voice actor. I've seen Kaiba's. Like, yeah, I've never seen them actually show up with like a Yu-Gi-Oh apparel, like a hat or a shirt or something. You can target one monster, special summon from the extra deck, banish it. Okay, so this is how you trigger the counter trap. Although I think some of the other level 12 Synchro monsters chat banish themselves. You can use this effect a number of times per turn up to the number of non-tuner Synchro monsters used as Synchro material. Oh, so wait, hold on. So you're not supposed to banish this card. You're supposed to banish your opponent's cards. Congrats on the Nats win. Can I get a clap in the chat? Thank you very much, Jib. You know what I was thinking, chat? Relatively speaking, if you look at things in a vacuum, I was actually more successful at Nats than Jib was, because the Winamat that I entered, I won, and Jib made top 64, but that's not winning. So, like, relatively speaking, I was actually more successful, and I had a better winning percentage. I played 6 rounds and won 5 times. So my winning percentage is also higher than yours. So I'm just saying. I don't know what 5, hold on, what is 5 divided by? We can find out my winning percentage versus yours. Pretty sure 5 divided by 6. Okay, so I had a winning percentage of 83%, and you played 12 rounds. No, 13 rounds. And lost 3. Hold on. So that would be 13 rounds and lost 3. So let's see. That means 10 divided by 13. Is that right? Ah, yeah. Here you go, Jib. So you had a winning percentage of 76%, and I had a winning percentage of 86%. So just saying, I kind of did better than you. Math is, dude, I haven't been in grade school in like a billion years. So there you guys go. Okay. So yeah, I assume, chat, this card needs at least, it's basically just gonna banish your opponent's extra summon stuff. So it does it twice. Once per turn, if a monster or monsters becomes banished face up, you can target one of them. Oh. Yeah. Excuse me. You can target one of them, special summon it to your field, ignoring summoning conditions. Yeah, this like Goyo on crack. So basically just when your opponent summons something from the extra deck, you just immediately banish it and then just take it. That's cool. I mean, I don't love, chat, that this is a level 12 synchro that doesn't have protection. I don't care about like negation, but I guess, you know, everything in Yu-Gi-Oh can't have protection. So this seems cool. I think I read this one. All TG, every TG monster becomes a machine, which is good. During your main phase, you can get an additional normal summon of a TG. And then this third effect is useful too, because it's kind of like Diagram, if I'm not mistaken. You can destroy a TG monster in your hand or field, and if you do, get a TG monster with a different name. So if you guys don't know, when TG monsters are destroyed, you get to search during the end phase. I don't know if that's really gonna matter anymore, chat, because like Yu-Gi-Oh is like so fast now that maybe that won't even matter. But I think that's like the point of it, because that was always the reason, chat, that TG didn't work as like a hyper synchro deck when they came out in Extreme Victory, is because like if you use like 4 TG monsters to synchro, they didn't get their effects. They just like went to the graveyard and that was it. But if you use them as like a stun deck, then when your opponent finally killed them under skill drain and, you know, Horn of the Phantom Beast and all this shit, then they just replaced themselves. Like, who cares? I just get a different one. Time to play Cyber Dragon. Yeah, this is like weirdly counterproductive against Cyber Dragons, because they can like contact with your shit, and they'll probably use that to like beat your synchro. But like, I don't know. I think this stuff is kind of cool.